Right. Welcome to Embodied Resilience Thursday class. Today we're going to play with the yawning quality that has a fancy word called pandiculation. And I want to tell you a little bit about it while you just feel into your body, feel how you're feeling. You want to shift, you want to breathe, you want to spontaneously yawn. We'll start shaking in a moment. But this yawning quality is when we have an engagement that's also lengthening, has a bit of a spontaneous element, is what we see kitty cats and dogs doing, especially when they wake up from a nap. And it has the power to kind of reset our nervous system, particularly our motor cortex. So, how we'll be able to interact with the world. And it also has a reset effect on the tissue organization itself, like how it is distributing force, but also how it is feeling itself through the inside. And so I'll tell you more about it as we play. If you haven't, take one breath, just full presence in your body. Good morning, Hal. And we're still going to start with our shaking because when in doubt, shake it out. Just feel the quality of your being and your body's need. Whether it's loose and more of the letting go or more of the lifting up. And let's see about trying to get the shake up into our chest. How can you change your relationship to gravity to get it up inside your chest? Breathe through your nose, into the wings. Let your arms come higher than your heart. And the shakes still come from underneath, from below. And add a little turn, looking at something to the side, and a few breaths while you shake to that side. And then the other side. Relax your jaw. And let's give each leg its own shake. So feel free to balance on something. If you feel like you're muscling it, start thinking just about your foot and your toes, and then let the oscillation climb up your leg. Play with beside you, in front of you, behind you. Add a little reach up through your chest. Change legs whenever you feel ready. I notice a big difference, both sides, and probably we all share that a little bit. And so sometimes I need a different approach to see if I can jiggle the sticky spots because they're different, right? All the way up into your hip with a little length through your spine. And then the last few moments, is there anything that hasn't yet shaken, jiggled? The last chance for now. And then let's take a big yawn. Spread your arms. Inhale like you're getting bigger in every direction, including down through your feet, behind you, above you. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then just relax. Relax everything. And we'll do that again, just to push, reach, expand all directions. And then release. And your arms don't have to be exactly the same as mine. Try it again. Reach, 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 reach. And release so that the pulsation shows us what this yawning quality is. And release. Let's do one more proprioceptive wake up. A little tap through the body. Fingers on the head to start, painting your skull. You can move, you can stay still. You're aware of that. And tapping along the eyebrows gently. And find the bones, like trace your cheekbones and around your ear and the jaw. Maybe make some faces. You always can make some sounds if they're spontaneous. And tap down your neck. And then in the front on the bones and the collarbones and the sternum. And then pat yourself on the back. Good job. Down your arm to your hand and fingers, up your arm. Just one more. And then on the pinky finger side, reach up and tap down the side of your chest and your waist. And then a little Tarzan. And then other side. Good job. And down. Include your hand and fingers. And back up. One more time. And then the pinky finger side, stretch and find the side of your body. And the drums in your belly. And light fists around your hips. Maybe shake your hips into your hands. And then in the back of the pelvis and up and down the spine. And finally down your legs. So go 3 times. One down the outside. Feel free to bend. Up the inside. Down the back. Up the front. And then anything you need. Last round. And we're going to give a little bit of love for our feet. You can just give them some applause on the floor. And then release and just let your foot fall on the ground. We'll use that as our tapping on the foot. Both feet. Okay. So we're going to come down to sit, which is always our opportunity to find and be aware of how that happens for you. Remembering our pouring into support, our spiral staircase, our asymmetry, whatever that might look like. We don't usually go straight down, but I wanted to show a little bit of what maybe we could do in a familiar yoga type class, and add this quality of pandiculation. And when we were in our X, that reach, and soften is going to be what we play with. And you could also keep the reach as we move through space. So let's take one hand to the floor, spread your fingers, and really reach as you paint a rainbow. So I'm trying to get as big as I can into a side bend. And then I'm going to come across the front and clear the table to change sides. Spread your fingers, inhale as if the air is thick and you have to push it, and come across the table. And just for contrast, very softly lift your arm, which has other benefits, not a bad thing. And then clear the table. On the second side, and just notice where you feel that in the rest of your body. And let's go back to our yawning quality. Really reach and also feel the opposition of your hip heavy. And reach forward. So this opposition is a key as well. One more each side. Knowing that the angle of your table, the height of your table might change and get a little different feeling in your back. Bring your hands behind you. And then turn your thumbs open. Lift your heart and feel like you're lifting up inside your spine to yawn. And then with your hands, push forward and open the back. Try to push as far as you can, both directions. And then again, hands back and you're yawning up to the sky. And then maybe clasp your hands and push forward, push back. One more. And either hands open or the other thumb on top. And then release. Bring your hands behind you and your feet in front of you. Put them feet a little bit wide. When our feet are close, it's also wonderful, but we want to feel the rotation in our hips and just let your legs go really loose, really soft, side to side. Knees side to side, rather. Get a little massage. And then when you're at the side, reach through your top knee. So I'm reaching that top knee kind of like a yawn, and then come back down. If your hand wants to come off the floor, it can. See if you can feel the difference of being soft and that moment of reaching. And then back down. Moment of reaching. One more each side. So last week when we were sitting, we were actually doing a little bit of this. Let's go ahead and balance. Shake out your hands and feet one more time. And let's come to hands and knees. So when we were sitting on our stool or chair, when we thought of staying as long as possible, the idea is that length going two ways, the opposition created the same quality. So let's play with that in something like cat-cow that comes from gyrokinesis. And we're going to find just a neutral spine. Shift your weight forward and back. Feel how it shifts on the ground. And when we shift forward, we're going to be neutral. And imagine that your spine goes long, out your head, out your tail. Turn your toes under. And then we're going to shift back while we arch and pull our heart forward. So I'm grabbing the floor with my hands. I'm trying to go forward, even though backwards is winning. And then inhale forward and neutral. There's a little softening there. Come on the tops of your feet, push into your feet and your hands, and then rounding, imagine a puppet string on your belly button, taking you up and back in a diagonal. And then release it as we shift forward in neutral. Inhale, toes under, exhale, arch, bushy tail, look up, pull your heart through, feel the opposition front to back. Inhale, neutral. And tops of the feet and round and belly goes back. So far back, your hands might get a little light. And two more. So the opposition is softer. And toes under, the arch is the yawning along the spine. Inhale, neutral, long. And exhale, rounding, 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 rounding back. One more set. And then we'll shift forward neutral. Turn your toes under, lift your hips up, and just say hello, walk your dog, wag your tail. And notice the quality now, just your natural, just observing. Do you feel more like you're pouring weight, shifting weight? Let's see if we can bring that pandiculation quality. So this is going to be kind of slow. Bend both knees, come on the balls of your feet. Inhale, lift your tail. And then just one foot is going to reach long towards the floor, like you're stretching the sole of your foot. And then inhale, lift on the balls of both feet again. And then the other foot, stretch through the sole of your foot. Inhale, a little softer, lift the heels and the first foot. Then one more on the second foot. And then feel free to stay in your down dog or come hands and knees to take your right leg back. Whether it's low, whether it's high, reach through your leg and feel where it begins and push that the other way. So probably the hands and or your spine. And the hands and knees, it's a little more your spine. And your spine is in line with your hands in down dog. So you could push into your hands. Imagine yawning out through your hip. And then step your right foot wide. Feel free to help it along so that we're hands on the inside. You can always come on fists or fingertips or blocks or even on your knee. Maybe some furniture. Feel what's on the ground. And we're going to just give into gravity. That's our relaxing moment. And then push into gravity. Push, 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 push. So we're yawning the back body skin, you could say. Exhale, let it go. And inhale, yawn. Push, push, push. Fill up from your breath. Exhale, let it go. One more. And we're going to add a little piece. Instead of letting it go, reach your heel and your heart. We've done this before, but think of it like a yawn through your midline. Push into the floor. Yawn through the back body. Exhale, stretch your heel and your heart. Yawn through the middle. One more. Pushing it. Empty it all out. Drop your knee. Sit back to child's pose. And just really observe the after effect. And then come back to your table or your dog and stretch your left leg. And whatever's opposite it, your heart, your eyes, the roots of your hands pushing. Feel the opposition along that line of energy. And we'll step the left foot wide. And first, just the release. And then push and inhale. Push, push, push everything, including your back foot. Exhale, release. You could also think of it as a global expansion, an all over omnidirectional expansion and softening. One more. And then we'll add just a different direction. Yawning heart and heel across the room in the midline. And push down, inhale. And yawn across. One more. And again, drop your knee. Sit back. Feel free to kneel or to drop your head, child's pose. And observe the after quality. And then come back to hands and knees. Let's lift our hips and walk the hands back to your feet. Let your feet go wide. Bend your knees, drop your heels heavy, and roll up to stand. At the top, yawn. See if it feels any different. And just relax. And then we'll step our feet wide now that we're up. And we're going towards warrior two, but we're going to dial our way there. So one hand up, one hand down, and change. Feel that in your legs. And change. Now, if your floor has a lot of friction, see what you can do, or maybe change your floor choices. One more each side. And then whenever you're on the right, feel like you're dialing into your legs and reach your arms out. And let's feel the lightest. What is it to be the lightest here? What information and how much can you feel where you are that way? And then let's reach all directions. So I'm going to stretch my arms and push into the floor, expand tall, imagine filling all directions, and then just relax a little bit. A global pulsation. Push, reach, expand, and relax. Two more. And as you do, can you notice if all of you is participating and feeling this? And then relax your arms. Let's just go ahead and straighten that leg. I felt like I went a little wider. And let's dial 3 times ish, and then we'll go to the other side. So finding our Warrior two or side lunge. First, just see like what's the lightest effort to be here, which is also a very good practice because sometimes we overdo and the undoing is a practice. Let's see if in the pulse, as we reach and expand, that we soften, we can even go lighter. We can even go softer. And all directions, yawning, even webbing of your fingers and toes. Up through the head, down through the pelvis. Two more. Is every part of you here enjoying, exploring? One more. And release your arms. Straighten your leg. Let's heel toe spiral back in. Does anyone feel like they're using more effort than they expected? Like a little more tired? We're like, whew, wow, getting more work? No, just me? Me and my lack of sleep? Okay. Let's take the feet wide again. Dial 3 or 4 times. Maybe see if you can feel that ripple effect up through the head. When you get to the right, we'll stay and bring your right elbow down. And then bring your left arm down. So I'm like looking down here at something, relaxed. The lower half here is going to be our relaxation place. Take your arm back by your hip. And the upper half is going to be our yawning. So I'm going to paint a rainbow from my feet pushing down, from my elbow pushing down, yawn, stretch everything, paint a rainbow. And then we're going to have the little relaxation as I look down, chill out. And again, follow your breath. Expand like your whole body was your lung, down into both feet, out through your eyes. 2 more, matching your breath. One more. Let's see if we can swim into the side bend and keep the yawning quality in a way that it feels like it's not gripping or stopping, but it keeps going and going just for one more breath. And then relax your arm. Follow it to come on up. And pivot like 3 times. To get to the left side, left elbow to your knee, right arm dangling, and relaxed. And then we'll sweep back by the hip from your feet and your supporting arm, paint a rainbow high up in the sky. And then exhale, relax a little bit. And again, push all directions and relax a little bit. 2 more. Notice where your head and eyes go. What is it like to yawn out of your gaze? Out of the top of your head? And the next time we find the side bend, keep it streaming, keep it reaching, keep it pushing down all directions. And relax. And come on up. Ah, maybe it's the talking. Like, so let's bring our feet together, heels touching or close, and then big toes about an inch apart or so. So when we bend, our knees will angle outwards a little bit. And let's take our arms forward and our hips back. So our opposition is going to be forward back in a diagonal. And squeezing our heels in and pushing our knees out. And then relax it a little bit. Long diagonal and squeeze knees and push, or squeeze heels, push knees. And relax a little bit. So it's like we're turning on all the lights. And then we're just dimming the lights. 2 more. Let the pulse be a little smaller, but you can still feel that softening. 1 more. And then release. Let's touch the floor. And come back down to hands and knees. Swim your right arm back. We've loved this one before, but see if you can feel the yawning rainbow. Reach, 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 reach. And then when you find the floor, feel like your hips and your fingers are opposite, but your hips are going to win and take you back. And again, push down, feel the opposition, up and down. And the opposition, hips pull your arm. Stop at the top this time. Reach, reach, reach. Dive under to the left to let it go. You can tuck your chin a little bit, look under your arm. Breathing through your nose into the back of the body. And then back to hands and knees. To the other side. Swim. Yawning rainbow. Grab the floor. Hips win, even as you keep reaching forward. Look for the opposition, up and down, along the midline, and pull. We'll stop at the top this time, yawning the biggest yet. And dive under. Once you get there, relax. Move your breath. And come back to hands and knees or down dog, you get to choose. We're going to reach the right leg back one more time and really feel the push away, the reach away, the reaching up, like it goes on and on and on. And then step your right foot wider than your hands. From your foot and your hand in front, make it a pretty big, generous distance. And then right arm to the sky. Let's see, what does light feel like? Light actually feels, if we have very little effort, that we're kind of sinking into our bones. At least that's how I would describe it. You might have different words. Let's see if we can reach all directions, push into the floor, stretch to the sky, even lean back all directions like a great big star. And then exhale. We forgot something downstairs. We're going to go relax a little bit. And then push and inhale, open and push both feet, and your body might make a different shape, a little different placement. And then exhale, relax. You can do this with your knee down on the floor as well. You're going to push that knee down. We'll have one more. Relax. Everywhere. Reach, and we'll stay at the top and keep streaming, 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 streaming. Awesome. Take your back knee down, both hands down. Walk your foot a little more in if it was wide so that we could walk back and bow to our hamstring. If it's far, right hand to your hip is a good way to work with that if a prop isn't right with you. What is it like to yawn the back of our leg? So let's bend the knee a little. Think of a seesaw where your knee bends and your toes come towards you. We're going to use the ground as our resistance. So we're going to push our heel down and reach our heart out. And then exhale, relax. And relax could be bowing. It doesn't have to be. I'm going to push the heel and reach my heart out of my hip. And exhale, relax. 2 more. How much you push is up to you. One more. Let's shift forward enough to put our hands down and step back somewhere symmetrical you can assess. So down dog, child's pose, kneeling, just to feel. It can also move, of course. And then last time, left leg goes back from your crown or from your hands and push away or reach away in opposition. And then step wider than your hands. The right hand stays down, pretty generous distance. Reach up. And then what if we were just this shape without any energy in it? The least energy, what does it feel like? And then distribute. Push, reach, open, all directions. Exhale, go get something on the ground. 3 more. Inhale. Check that all of you is here, enjoying. Exhale, soften. 2 more. Where your eyes reaching to. 1 more. And oops, I forgot. 1 more. Staying at the top, streaming, streaming, streaming. And then drop your knee. And walk back a little. Foot comes more in if it was quite wide. Left hand to your hip can be helpful if needed. Feel a little bend in your knee. Push your heel down, reach your heart out. Soften, maybe that means down, doesn't have to. Push the heel, reach your heart. And 2 more on your own breath. And then shift forward, hands to the floor. Come to hands and knees, and let's slide the hands out. Use your elbows to inchworm ripple down to your belly. Make a pillow and just give your efforts off to the earth. Feel the total softening, relaxation. Now let's come onto our forearms so that your elbows are right under your shoulders. It should feel pretty comfortable. We're not too far away or too close in. And let's see if we can yawn, sort of, deep inside the belly. So we're going to pull with our arms to pull length forward. Doesn't look like much. And then stretch your legs the other way. So my feet are reaching towards my toes. My whole leg is reaching toward my toes. My elbows are helping me pull to my belly. We could say this is almost, but not quite the yawning because of the opposition. And then bring your right knee to the side. And think of it on the left side, this opposition. Breathe down to the left side. This might be good enough to breathe and stay, or bring your right hand to the floor and pull long as you start to look over your shoulder. So we're not going back over the shoulder. We're trying to go forward and stretch your back leg. Breathe into your belly. And then let it soften. So we're going to pulse here. Doesn't look like much, right? But we're going to feel that pulling length and then relax it a little bit. 2 more. Pulling length. If you want more, you can bend your back knee and reach through your knee. Reach through your knee. And then come on down. Extend your leg. Take a breath and feel the right and the left. And then elbows. Left knee to the side. Find the length focused on the right side. Opposition. Sides are very different, probably. So it doesn't have to end up in the same place. Maybe left hand to the floor. Pull forward as you look back a little. Stretch your toes. Breathe to your belly. And then that's our action, the expansion. And then relax. And expansion. It would almost be like cat-cow, almost like a rounding. A little hard to round from here, but it's more than just up and down. Right, 2 more. Maybe bend your back knee, reach your knee. Last one. And come on down. Stretch your leg, relax your head, take a breath. Let's come on to hands and knees. Cross your ankles. Take a seat. Let's try to get that same spot in a different way. Bring your feet to the floor in front like we started. I'm going to change my surface because these socks have lost their stick. Okay. So let's straighten the right leg. Bring the right hand behind us at an angle, so it's not straight behind. And this is where, if you're on a yoga mat, sometimes you need to tell yourself to escape the box. And so we have a straight right leg and right hand behind. Left hand is going to be holding some cherries, and we're going to share our cherries with our friends behind us. So I'm going to toss my cherries, and I'm going to push the floor. Toss my cherries, push the floor, reach, yawn. Wherever you land is wonderful. And then exhale, come on back down. Now you might have gone there and decided, hey, I might want a little wider, I might want a little different. Let's toss our cherries to our friends across the horizon. So we're going to toss the cherries. Toss, 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 push, reach, yawn, look at your hand, breathe. Oh, and come on back down. One more, decide if you liked over, across the horizon, or you want to try somewhere in between. One more, expanding the whole body. Yawn, 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 yawn. And come back down. Let's change the leg. So we can start in our hanging at the beach position. Stretch your left leg. Check to make sure your left hand isn't behind you. Now let's have some really perfect blueberries. I'm going to toss them over and push the floor. So that bent leg is getting the same kind of stretch we did on the floor just moments ago. Exhale, release. Make any adjustments. Toss across the horizon. Toss across the horizon, yawning everywhere, everywhere, all directions. And down. Third time your pick, or somewhere else we haven't gone yet. Last one. Yawn. And release. Shake out your legs a little bit. And then let's find a half of a straddle. And we're revisiting certain patterns, but just with a different qualitative approach. So let's explore the space in front of us with some waves. And if you are feeling like there's no wave to be had, sometimes less is more, just to feel any potential wiggling the key in the lock. If it's starting to move and you are hoping that it can move more, or if waves are no problem and you want to find more integration, I don't like the word, but like control over your movement, the yawning through the movement can be really helpful. So before we start, one hand to the head. Reach into your hand and feel how that also gets you more connected to the ground. So we're going to feel this as we move it. And we're going to keep reaching, reaching, and wave, belly, heart, head. And then you can even push the floor. Come up. We have all different angles. Wave, reach, 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 reach. And you can push to open the back. Keep going. If it's not happening yet, just be a little softer and try to get the pelvis rocking. Excuse me. Notice how your breath is lining up or is it independent? Is there a way for it to be helpful? Keep getting taller every time you get back up to the center. Taller, 3 more. What is it like to yawn through your legs as you're waving? That's an open question. Oh, open question. Come on up, change legs. Again, just looking for rock if there's not much happening. Once it starts happening, we lengthen up through the top and then wave, even if it's really low range. Sometimes I imagine going beyond the edges of my skin. Explore different angles. Explore what is it like to yawn through the legs. Taller every time you reestablish this upright place. 2 more. This is like the posture where I discover all the dust bunnies I thought I got. I got missed. Let's turn one more time to the first side. Clasp your hands, flip your palms, and then we're going to keep it round. So pull your elbows apart and feel that connect up into your torso. And that's kind of like a little yawn. So we're going to pull apart and relax. And then lift the arms and pull apart and relax. Pull apart and up. Once it starts to lift above your heart, we're also coming up from the center. Pull apart and up. Relax. Pull apart and up. Now the whole body, push into the floor as well. 2 more. And relax. 1 more. And push, 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 push the floor in the sky. And then release your arm. Switch your legs. If you liked that, you can do it again with the other thumb on top. Or let's pull the elbows apart. Come somewhere above the forehead, 45 degrees or so. And now as we pull apart, we're going to yawn in the barrel of the chest, the ribs all directions. So what is that like? Opposition. So as I keep pulling my elbows apart, I'm taking my arms to one side and my ribs to the other. And my arms forward and my ribs to the back. My arms to the other side and my ribs to the other. And I'm really pulling the elbows apart and I'm going opposite hands and ribs. And this could go faster. It could even go slower. It should feel like, oh my goodness, I'm getting into some nooks and crannies. Whenever you're ready, change direction. Can you keep that reach up through the spine the whole time? Up to the opposition. Last one. By the center. And release. Ooh, shake out your legs. And let's find opposition on our way to the floor. So this is not exactly yawning because we're giving into gravity and the counterweight is going to help us feel connection in the core. So I'm going to lean to one side. I'm leaning to my right and I'm going to reach my left leg away. And then I'm going to come up just that much. Just that much. I'm going to lean. It's almost like I'm kind of listening to the left. And when I'm on one cheek, I'm going to reach the other leg away. Let's see if you can feel a little bit in your core. It's not 5-minute abs. It's more like 15. But yeah, something is there. Little reach. Good. One more each side. Yeah, it feels a little bit like walking, right? And then let's make this really small and walk ourselves onto our back. So I'm just going to have a little side to side. If it gets hard, bend your knees and hold your legs. Once you're down on the earth, give your knees a hug. Let it go, let the effort go. And stretch your left leg out on the floor. And hold your right shin right below your knee. And then push your shin into your hand and your left thigh towards the ground and your heel long. So our bent knee is just going to kind of get out of the way. We're not trying to do very much with it. We just don't want it so close that it pulls the other hip up. So I'm kind of pushing forward. Stretch your left arm. So left side is super long. Yawn and reach. Exhale, reach some more. Do this 3 times. Inhale, yawn, easy. Exhale, squeeze out the breath in the center and reach more. If it starts to side bend, go with it, no problem. One more. And then easy twist. Toss your leg over. You could put your foot on the floor, a little easier on any sensitivity in the low back. You could drop your knee. That's a different situation. You can feel and explore. And let's just feel what it's like to release. Real yawns are welcome. And then what is it like to yawn in the twist? And let that unfurl you and unwind you and bring you back. And then we'll bring the left knee in, left hand to the front of the knee on the shin, and pushing forward just a little bit to feel the right thigh go down. Stretch your right arm, stretch your right leg. Inhale, yawning easy. Exhale, reach, 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 reach as I squeeze it out. And 2 more. You're still reaching, but it's less effort on the inhale. And then really go for it on the exhale. 1 more. And then cross your knee over to twist, either knee or maybe foot. Could be different. And let it just kind of go for a few breaths. If you ever find yourself in a practice spontaneously yawning, whether just through the mouth or especially in the body, let it take over. Like, go for it. That's when your nervous system is spontaneously having some level of reset. Let's yawn our way out of here. And find our star. Working. And yawn all directions in your star, even your fingers and your toes. They might move inside of that. You might wiggle and wriggle and circle. And then relax. So we'll go 3 more big, full body, yawning, spontaneous movement. You don't have to stay in the star. It could go anywhere, like you're in your bed waking up. And then relaxation. And after the 3rd, we'll take our rest. And if it feels good and you want to keep going, keep going. Good place to start if you're not sure is a star. But reach and all things spontaneous, any direction. Push into the ground even. And then relax. And again. Trust your body and relax. And again, and remember, you don't have to land in one position to rest. And you're welcome to keep going or drop it all and rest. Become aware of the floor. Get heavier with your exhale. Especially in your head. Imagine it could fall almost through the floor. And every exhale, relax around your face a little more, especially your eyes and temples and the jaw and the tongue. If you feel good in the body, I want to encourage you to explore what it would be like, in the rest of your day to yawn your face. For now, you can decide if you want to stay and rest or start to come back. In a gentle way, maybe in a yawning way. You can think of this quality in the infinite coordinations and angles and movements of each part of the body in combination with each other part of the body. Mm. Take your time. If you are arising, see you shortly. If not, don't force it. And just notice how you feel. Hmm. What are we doing?
Good. I love yawning.
Yeah. Actually, let's just close up the recording. Thank you all, and we'll chat.